You aren't climbing a ladder to a better life. You are simply decorating a cage with a better view. In a world where global debt has reached $250 trillion, your lifestyle isn't a sign of success. It's the cost of your submission. Why do you want what you can't afford? It's not a choice, it's a neuro-chemical hijack. When you see a status symbol, your brain's ventral striatum triggers a dopamine spike identical to a survival response. The architect isn't selling you luxury. They're selling you a safety signal to bypass your logical brain. You're a data point in a $1.5 trillion psychological warfare machine. Through relative deprivation, the system ensures that no matter how much you earn, you feel poor compared to the scripted 1%. It's a race where the finish line moves every time you take a step. Welcome back to File Zero. Today, we are deconstructing financial horror. We're stripping away the luxury to reveal the shackles and exposing the global blueprint used to manufacture your survival instincts and sell them back to you as status. To understand the scenario, we have to look at the anatomy. The human brain is a relic of the Pleistocene era. For 200,000 years, being low status meant you were the last to eat and the first to die. Your amygdala equates social rejection with physical death. The architect knows this. They have mapped your neural pathways better than you have. They created the debt-to-status ratio. It's a simple, lethal formula. They grant you a credit limit that exceeds your utility, knowing your brain will treat that plastic card like a weapon for survival. You aren't buying a watch, you're buying a permission slip to exist in the room. You are paying a psychological tax just to feel safe in your own skin. This is the first layer of the horror. Your survival instincts have been hacked to fund their dividends. Why does the middle class obsess over logos while the truly elite remain silent? Because the logo is the mark of the target. Luxury brands don't market to the 1%. They market to the people who are terrified of being seen as the bottom 99%. They sell you a membership to a club you will never actually enter. The logo is a signal to other prisoners that you are successfully managing your cage. Every time you swipe for a status symbol you can't afford, you are sending a clear signal to the architect: I am compliant. I'm afraid of being ordinary. I'm willing to trade my future time for a temporary mask. That dopamine hit you feel when walking out of the store. That's not joy. That's the sound of the cell door locking. You've traded 300 hours of your future life for a piece of canvas with a monogram. You didn't buy a bag, you sold a month of your freedom. This leads to the final stage, the golden handcuffs. The system doesn't want you to be homeless. If you're starving, you have nothing to lose, and people with nothing to lose are dangerous, they revolt. The architect wants you to be comfortably desperate. If you have a high-end apartment you can barely afford, a luxury gym membership that eats your savings, and a leased SUV that requires a 60-hour work week to maintain, you are the perfect subject. You are too scared to quit, you are too tired to innovate. You become a yes man to the system because your lifestyle has become a hostage situation. You have been engineered to fear the loss of status more than the loss of soul. You are now a high-status slave, performing a script you didn't write, to impress people who are just as trapped as you are. The horror isn't that the architects stole your money. The horror is that they convinced you to give it away in exchange for a scripted identity. They want you to believe that wealth is what you show. But in File Zero, we know the truth. Wealth is what you keep. Wealth is the ability to walk away from the room without needing anyone's permission to feel important. But there is a flaw in their design. Once you see the bars of the cage loses its power. Once you stop fearing the invisible, you become the architect of your own reality. In the next file, we move from analysis to extraction. We are going to learn how to move in the shadows, how to build a fortress that no bank can touch, and how to break the script forever. Subscription is your clearance. Welcome to File Zero.